So today we had a very favorable outcome. We had convicted as charged for the Ethan Ferguson case. It was a sex assault case. The defendant was a DNLR officer, and on January 1st, 2016, he sexually molested a 16-year-old girl. And unfortunately for law enforcement, that gives us all a black eye when a law enforcement officer does something like that. It's bad enough to sexually assault a 16-year-old girl for anyone, but when it comes from a law enforcement, it hurts just a little bit more for us in law enforcement. It makes all of our jobs a lot harder. 5 counts of sex assault, 2 counts of sex assault in the 2nd degree, and 3 counts of sex assault in the 4th degree, and the jury came back guilty as charged, so we're very pleased with that.
Basically on January 1st of 2016, the victim had gone to the beach. It was New Year's Day, beautiful day. She went to the beach just to kind of relax and enjoy herself, and the law enforcement officer approached her, basically gave her some choices. She was engaged in some activity that he felt, gave him an advantage, I suppose, and so he gave her some choices to get out of that. And basically it was money, drugs, or sex, and she told him no, but he proceeded to take her to a location that was somewhat secluded and sexually assaulted her. We were luckily able to get DNA. She did report fairly quickly after the assault, so we were able to get DNA, and as Mitch said, law enforcement did a really good job with providing us with the evidence that we needed to prosecute the case.
I just really want to praise the victim who, 16 years old, got up and testified. She showed great bravery and courage in doing that. Of course, my team, Michelle was one of the deputies, Ha'aheo Kaho'alahala, another deputy, actually the deputy that led the case. They did a great job. Our law enforcement, the police, our victim witness counselors, as well as our investigators, they all worked for many months to make sure that this case came to justice, and I think the jury got it right, so we want to also congratulate them, and seeing through the stories that were told to them by the defense, and took them just a couple of hours to come back with guilty on all charges, so we're very pleased with the outcome in this case.
I think it came down to our victim. Like Mitch said, she was extremely courageous in getting on the witness stand and telling everyone what happened to her. Obviously, she came across to the jury very credibly, and the defendant testified as well, and his story was just not really believable, to be quite frank. And so I think the jury was able to see that this crime occurred. They were able to see through the attempts by the defense to put the victim on trial, which is what happened here, but they didn't buy it. Another piece of evidence that we had that was pretty beneficial to the case, they do have GPS on every car that every officer drives, and we were able to get that information. We flew in a representative from the manufacturer to testify about the GPS technology and its reliability, and we were able to basically show that the defendant was in the area. His car was in the area at the time that the assault occurred, and he had filed various reports, work reports, and that did not match up with what the GPS showed. In other words, where he said he was different than what the GPS said.
One of the things that we've done at the prosecutor's office is we started a sex assault unit, and so we brought Michelle in from the mainland, she's been experienced with doing sex assault cases. She's our sex assault supervisor, and I really think that by having this unit working on sex assault cases, it's really made a difference in the quality of cases that we're able to present. Michelle and her team have been working on training not only deputy prosecutors, but also working with police officers, as well as our other partners like the YWCA and some of our other advocates. And so I think having that unit has really paid off, and I mean, this is one of those cases that we've done things a lot differently than we would have done things in the past. We charged this case right out rather than waiting for all the pieces of the evidence to come in, waiting for the DNA to come in. We knew that we had DNA. In the past, we used to handle these cases a lot differently, and so I'm really proud of the work that the unit has done and what we've accomplished in just the last couple of years in the way we handle these sex assault cases. And so appreciative also to the Attorney Generals for getting us funding to allow us to do these cases and improve the quality of these cases. It's keeping our island safer and healthier.